Emma Rebelato with ABC News. 3 regional Liberal MPs, including 2 ministers, will repay more than $70,000 of state taxpayers' money they may not have been eligible to claim. Ministers Stephen Knoll and Tim Whetstone and backbencher Fraser Ellis outed their own questionable claims as the Parliament responded to an ABC investigation by releasing 1,600 expense claim forms. None of the Liberal MPs will face any sanction or pay any interest, but the Premier has vowed greater scrutiny of future claims. Our reporter Patrick Martin broke the story of expenses and joins us now. Patrick, what have we learned?
Emma, this is the first time in the South Australian Parliament's history that documents of this kind have been made public. What we know is that 5 Liberal MPs have issues with their claims to this allowance and 3 of them will be paying money back. The other 2 Liberal backbenchers, Peter Treloar and Adrian Pederick, have retrospectively changed the dates used to access this scheme but won't be paying any money back. Of course, this ABC investigation started with questions over the eligibility of Upper House President Terry Stevens to claim this allowance. The documents in my hand show that in the past 10 years, he's claimed more than $250,000.
For weeks, the expenses spotlight has been on Legislative Council President Terry Stevens. The senior Liberals claimed tens of thousands in country members' accommodation allowances, despite spending lots of time at his $1 million Norwood townhouse.
Have you asked Terry Stevens why he's not paying land tax at Norwood?
I'll be doing a press conference later today. You can ask any questions there.
By the time that press conference rolled around, it was clear the government's expense problems ran far deeper.
It's fair to say that there have been some administrative errors.
As the Parliament finally agreed to release hundreds of pages of expense claims, 3 other Liberals, 2 of them cabinet ministers, vowed to pay back thousands. Primary Industries Minister Tim Whetstone made claims for staying in Adelaide while travelling regionally, interstate and in the USA. He'll repay almost $7,000 for 32 nights incorrectly claimed before he was a minister.
I take full responsibility and I apologise to the House, I apologise to the people of Chaffey and to South Australia for those errors.
Infrastructure Minister Stephen Knoll will repay much more, $29,000, after claiming the allowance while staying rent-free with his mum and dad. He insists he's followed the rules, but
I've repaid that money and I'm not going to claim the allowance until that ambiguity is resolved.
Backbencher Fraser Ellis will repay more than $40,000. He'd already admitted to staying rent-free with Terry Stevens at Norwood. None of the MPs will face any sanction, nor will they have to pay interest.
I'm not of the opinion that there's been any deliberate dishonesty, but all of these issues need to be addressed as quickly as possible.
What it really demands is the Premier to show some leadership and dismiss these ministers.
Stephen Marshall admits a transparency problem. He's asked the Auditor-General to conduct spot checks of MPs and vowed that previously secret records will be made public once a month. The government will also ask the Remuneration Tribunal, which sets the rules, to clarify when and how MPs can claim.
I think there has been ambiguity over a long period of time, and it's now time to clean up this situation and provide much greater certainty going forward.
Many questions remain over the circumstances of Terry Stevens, although the release of allowance claims backs up his earlier insistence that in early 2017 he moved from an apartment he owned in Victor Harbour into a rented apartment in the same building. Patrick Martin, ABC News, Adelaide.
For the